Fellow tennis nerds, I hope you are well. I'm here with Henrik. It's been a long time, no podcast. But today we're going to talk about rackets for next year, new VCOREs, new speeds. But we're also going to summarize a bit quickly the 2025 season of rackets. Here, Henrik's opinions. You might have seen my opinions already on YouTube on the 2025 best rackets video. But first of all, we talked to Henrik and we asked Henrik, how are you, Henrik?
Thank you. I'm very good. Just played some tennis. Try to play about 2 times each week now indoors. It's difficult to find available players to play with. But I've just come from the court and tried some new stuff that we will talk about. So it's always nice to end the week with an hour of indoor tennis.
Yeah. There's no other way in Sweden to play than indoors now. I can imagine. And also in Athens, where I was at the beautiful Tatoy Club, we were playing mainly indoors. Although you could play outdoors, but just timing reasons. And it's quite nice to have indoor. They have indoor clay and indoor hard, so it's a good situation. What did you play today? I'm curious. You have a bag full of rackets, of course.
I tried the new VCore 100, VCore 98. I tried a new racket from Babola that will come out next year. And I I played with my go-to racket these days, the Head TGT 339.2, the Speed MP mold. That's the racket I tried today.
And that's the one you like the most, right? I mean, you were a Model 100 user, big fan of Aero 98. If we go back a bit, the Model 100 from Nordic Dots is quite similar to this speed. How did you find this speed racket? Like, what made you buy that one and decide on this racket?
I got it by coincidence or just by luck at the Davis Cup. It was a player that had tried it, and I got to keep it and try it, and liked it very much. It reminds me a lot of the Nordic Dots Model 100. I still use the Nordic Dots Model 100 as well, but this is the one that I'm using. It's the 2024 paint job, but it's as you can see, it's glossy. 310 grams, 31.5 centimeters, and a strong swing weight of 325. So perfect for me. And it's almost the same as I have customized my Nordic Dots Model 100 as well. Those rackets, the TGT 339.2, it has a little bit more open string pattern than the Model 100, so I get a bit more spin, a little bit more lift over the net that I sometimes need out on, especially on the defense. The Nordic Dot has more control though, so I could easily switch between those two in practice or matches, so it's no problem. The Aero 98, they are gone now, and they will soon not be forgotten because I think it will be a modern classic, like a PT57 of our time. But I don't use it anymore because it's simply too demanding for me and my game these days.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think it's a fantastic racket, but it requires a lot from the user. You need to prepare and go for every swing, to commit on every shot. And we're not there. I agree with you. I still like that racket. I'm actually been playing with the VS behind you there a little bit the last few days, and good stick as well. A little bit more flat control, but very similar and also demanding. So for most players, I think like buying a Pure Drive 100 or a VCore 100 or something that is pretty forgiving, whether it's a Speed MP or something, it's usually the way to go. I think we sometimes overestimate our games and play with difficult rackets or sometimes heavy rackets. That's tend to be the thing. We have both tried the new Aeros that are coming out next year in prototype cosmetic. I think everyone has seen, like, on that are nerds and on Instagram and stuff, they've seen this cosmetic. We're not going to talk too much about them, but I think both you and I are pretty impressed by the 2026 Aero 100. And that's something that you're also contemplating alongside the speed, whether it could be the next racket for you, right?
Yeah, in the past, I used to play with every iteration of the Aero 100 from the first original 2004, I think, and through each and every model, and I have been liking each and every one of them. Played when I say I'm switching to a racket, it's just for a couple of months. I'm not that loyal to the rackets, but I have been using them for a longer period of time. and the Aero 100 is easily a switchable frame for me. I like it a lot, the new one. I don't know how much we can say about it. I think we will talk about it later, but it's a really great update. It's better than the 2023 version by quite a bit, I would say. But I think we will talk more about it later.
I would say especially the 100, right? Like it's we'll definitely talk more about it later, but definitely the 100 I think is clearly an improvement. But there's good things to be said also for the 98.
Yeah.
Although that's such a popular model, that's more of a risk for Babolat, you know. And also you've been playing with new VCOREs, which I have not yet received. I've been traveling, and now I hope to get the package on Monday. And then I'm very curious, which models did you have? Did you have the 100D or the 198?
198. I think I will get the 100D as well. That racket sounds very promising, a little bit more heavy, 1620 string pattern, more like a more solid version of the 100. So I'm really looking forward to try that one. I've only hit with those rackets for about maybe an hour and a half, all in all. So I just got them. I strung them up with the Polytour Pro in 21 for the 98 and 22 for the 100. I got them in grip size 2. I normally use grip size 3 or 4, so the grip is too small for me, but I mean, I can still play with it without any problem. I just use 2 over grips. It's a very well dampened, somewhat muted, but it's a good feel. It's more solid than the 2023 version. I would say the sweet spot is bigger. It feels better to play with. I must say that it's especially the VCore 100. The 98 is these days. I'm not. I mean, I'm a decent player, but to use a 98 effectively is not really for me anymore. It would be interesting to see you with in the hands of the 98. That plays a little bit more flat tennis. So the 98 is it's also an improvement of the previous version, but I would say the 100 is a big improvement in my opinion. It's really solid. It's a good ball bite. It's easy to play with. It's like you have power steering and traction control and everything if you compare it with a car. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's a good improvement, and I really love the design. I mean, here you have the 98, and it's glossy, metallic glossy. It looks fantastic. I really love the design. It reminds me of a bit of the old RDT TI-70 that Richard Krajicek used to play with. Really like this red design. So it's a nice update, both cosmetically and to play with.
Yeah, it looks good, man. I've heard from what I heard, it's good. So I'm very curious about both models, or maybe I get a bunch of them, and that they bring out the 100D, which the 1620 pattern as well, like to kind of be a body to the Percept 100D, I guess, you know, which many players liked. So the Denser pattern 100 could be for me for sure, you know, playing with a bit more flat game and getting more directional control. So very curious. I think a lot of players are. Yonex have kind of become maybe the leading brand, right? Like in interest. Why I noticed when we do these polls on Tennis Nerd or the best rackets of the year and stuff, like the E-Zone beat the Pure Drive quite, you know, with a big margin, over 3,000 votes. So pretty good there. When you look back at 2025, what was kind of your highlight in terms of rackets? Of rackets that came out this year. Some people think we should include all the rackets that are on the market, but that becomes a kind of different discussion, you know, because there are quite a few models still that are released 2023, 2024, and then they are getting a new update next year. But from 2025 releases, did anything stand out? Was anything disappointing or anything extra impressive to you?
I mean, the Wilson Ultra 99 Pro, that's a good racket. One of my favorites this year. We made a pod about it last year that they should bring it back. The Steam 99 bring that back, and they did. And I really like it. It's a better feel in the Ultra 99 Pro than the Pro Stock Steams, or yeah. But the string movement is pretty severe, so to say. So a 16 by 20 version would be 16 by 19 version would be better than the 1618, but it works with 1618 as well. It's a good, really good racket, one of the best looking rackets ever made. I love the blue design. So that's one of my favorite rackets. The Nordic Dots Model 98 Pro, especially, is also really, really good. I considered to switch to that one for a while from the Model 100. And it's extremely solid. It does everything good. Maybe a little bit demanding after an hour and a half of play, but a really good racket. What else is new? The new Pure Drive is also a very good update. Very solid, looks fantastic, not that painful for the arm anymore. So a big improvement over the last frame. The new Radical is new for 25, right?
Yep.
I've only tried that very short period of time, so I cannot say too much, but I love the bright orange color of it, but I have not tried it so much, so I cannot say too much about it. What else do we have?
I'm
I've
curious
tried them.
to hear your opinion about the Dunlops, because you got them, the retail ones. I only tried the blackout ones,
Yeah,
and you were not as impressed as some other players who were. I mean, including myself, right? Like I really like them. In the end, I did not like switch to them, or like I wasn't blown away. But I'm keen to hear your opinion.
I got it in grip size 2 as well, and I feel Dunlop has pretty small grip size as well, so the grip size 2 was very small. It's it's I mean, when I first played with it, it felt really good. Like it feels really to just hit the ball and serve really good. It's pretty good ball bite, but it was when I used it in matches, it was a bit, how do you say, more like a metallic feel, like not stiff, but I did not get so connected with the ball as I was hoping for. The swing weight was fairly light. I think it was around 315 strung or something like that. So it needs some lead as well. It would be interesting to try it in like grip size 3 or 4 and beef up the swing weight to 325. I think that could be a really good racket in that case. But as it was with the pretty low swing weight and the wrong grip size, it was not what I really had hoped for. So it would be interesting to try that one with my specifications, so to say. I have not given up on it yet, so we'll see. Maybe I will revisit it when I have time. But the first impression was that it was a little bit too metallic. Not stiff, but I did not get as connected with the ball as I was hoping for. But still a really good racket. But not for me, unfortunately. It looks really good, though. The design is very, very nice, and yeah, we will talk about it in the future when I have more time with it and have customized it a bit and found one in the right grip size as well.
Yeah, I think the grip size is something we've talked about before, and the sample size that you get these days are usually L2, and we're both like L3 guys. Like I like L3 more. Sometimes with two over grips, I think it's fine, but sometimes the grip becomes too rounded, and then it gets a bit weird, and you cannot really estimate. Like you have to adjust your technique a bit because you're playing with a different grip shape, and also you obviously add weight to the handle of the racket. So that's the issue, right? And I understand that L2 probably has a larger audience, so they want to send out something. They're gonna do the L2, but I think for play testers that do this as a job, kind of, it'd be good to have L3s available, so you can actually choose L2 or L3 at least, because it does make a difference when you. And also, I think better for the companies if you can actually test it with your grip size, because you're gonna make a more fair judgment of the racket, right?
Yeah, especially, I mean, in the past, I always used grip size 4. And then because every sample was grip size 3, every test racket was grip size 3. So I changed to grip size 3. But I mean, I'm a big guy at almost 2 meters and big hands, so normally I could easily use grip size 4. So grip size 2 is a little bit too small for me, so it would be a good idea to have like grip size 2 and grip size 3, especially when they have demo rackets and like play test days, because they want to sell as much as possible. So it's good to have I mean, if they are making 1,000 sample rackets, do like 800 grip 2 and 200 grip 3 in that case, or just some varieties to suit different players.
Yeah, I really think the grip size and shape is so important. Like it's the same thing we talk about Technifiber rackets every year. Like it's like okay, the T Fight is a very good racket. Everybody will agree, I think, in most cases. And then you always complain about the grip shape being so rectangular that it's like it's not like easy to compare to other rackets because you feel a bit alien in holding it, you know, and then how you play. So that was a bit of an issue. Still, like with the T Fights being really getting good reviews, and but then you have that grip shape always to complain about, which is gets a bit tiring, right?
Yeah, the T Fight 300. That was a really good racket, but I got some issues with my elbow with that one, unfortunately, because it felt really. I played really good tennis with it. Even if it was fairly low swing weight, like 318 strung, it felt fantastic. Very solid, good spin, good power, good control. Did everything good. Grip's shape is, of course, a little bit challenging to adjust to because it's so rectangular. But I got some issues with my elbow, and I don't know why, because it's not overly stiff, and it should be well dampened. So strange, but it's a really good racket. If you don't get any elbow issues with it, that's one of the best rackets this year as well. So really good racket, but just be careful with the elbow. That's my main concern with that one.
I agree. I think I also Nikola Racic, friend of the channel, got some severe elbow issue from that one. Not saying the racket is going to be bad for everyone. It's such a personal thing, like the vibrations and how you deal with them and how you hit the ball and how you grip the racket and so on. But it's when some people have it, you have to like alert a little bit because it can affect more people. And you buy a racket, you have to sell it and stuff like that. So or at least string it very sensibly. When you string now, like what's your like go-to string and tension? What are you playing in the speed, for example?
Kevlar at 70 pounds.
It's the best.
Okay, very, yeah. Now, I have Solinco Torbite 125, 21 kilos. But I think actually, when I first tried that Pro Stock frame, it had 22 kilos in it. And it felt too demanding for me. So when the tension has dropped, it plays much better. So I think I could string that one in like 19 kilos or something like that. So I will try different tensions. I have actually got 3 Pro Stock speeds in the 2026 paint job. I don't know if we are allowed to show that yet, but
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
but it looks really good. I have not customized it yet, but I will customize it to my specifications. But it looks fantastic, like really cool. It looks black, but it's almost like a bluish, very dark navy blue color. I love it. So it will be interesting to try that one, and hopefully it will play the same as my other 339.2.
And that was the Pro Stock as well. It's also a 33902, but
Yeah,
just different.
it's exactly the same racket, just
Mm.
different paints.
So maybe some listeners or watchers of this might ask, like, why the two? Like 339 is the mold code, right? Like from
Yeah,
head. But what would the two be in this case?
I think it's the 1619 version, and the one is 1820. So the one is the Pro, and the two is the MP. And this one, I think it's the Graphene 360 frame or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Uh,
The same
feel-
mold, yeah, but they haven't changed much of the mold on the speed rackets. Like since the 339 9. I think it's isn't it still the same old on
I
the
think
rack?
it's the same. I
Yeah.
think it's the same. So the main reason, I mean, the I played really well with the 2024 version as well. And to be honest, the Pro Stock and the 2024 version feels almost the same. It's just that I didn't like the matte finish on the 2024. I don't like the feel on the matte surface. So that was my main reason why I continue to play with that one, because I like the glossy finish. I mean, it's silly and just personal thing, but I like the glossy finish much more than the matte satin finish.
You're not alone. Like I thought that touch paint was a bit odd, and a lot of pros are saying that they prefer the feel of glossy rackets, whether it's a head game, or if it's actually affecting the playability. But I tend to also prefer the glossy rackets when possible. I thought it was interesting that Yonex did the VCOREs glossy, since the E zone is kind of matte, right? So it's a matte cosmetic, and I thought they would try to go for the same. But it's interesting that they differentiate them. They are quite gutsy, Yonex. They just go for it.
Yeah.
New molds, new everything, right?
Yeah, they do everything. When they are launching a new model, they are really launching a new model, not just a new paint job. So they are really doing good stuff at the headquarters in Japan.
For sure. Is there anything else you are very excited about for next year that's coming up? We have the Wilson so-called Python that you probably haven't tried yet, right? Like
No.
it's their spin racket, and then we get some pro stuff, whether that's gonna be, and we're getting a bunch of new rackets, right? Is there anything that's like it makes you extra excited to try?
Yeah, the Python, if it's going to be called Python, I have not heard anything from Wilson about that one. So that will be very interesting. It will be interesting to try the new blades when they are launched, the V10. I think that information should be out very soon, I think. Um, the new bubblets, when they are released in the right paint job and the right grip size, it will be really interesting to try as well. The new speeds, I have tried the Legend, that is the new 2026, and it's it the difference in RA is just 2 units, but it feels much more like stiff compared to the 2024 version. So it's placed more stiff, a little bit more powerful, little bit more solid in the upper hoop. Little bit less feel, but more like suiting a modern tennis game. When the balls go dead so fast, this new version, I think, will help the players to create some more pace from the racket.
Yeah, the high bore layup definitely feels more like you're going back old school. Like the over dampening is kind of gone, or like dampening overall. But the 2024 it did have a very good feel, so it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I talked to pros that try both, and on like top 200 level, and they are kind of more fans of the 2024. The guys I talked to, so I mean it's all personal, like taste in the end. You need to find out for yourself. You can listen to reviewers and hear their opinions, but you always need to try it for yourself to see if it works for you. It's always a personal decision in the end.
Yeah, I think for like the normal amateur players, I think the 2026 version will suit better, especially when the balls are starting to be more like fluffy and you need a little bit more help with power stability. But you will try and compare and see. I think a lot of players will like this update, and it will also be interesting to try the new head squared, or what's the name?
Squared, I think. Yeah.
Squared, yeah. Feels like Yonex Percept name, almost the same.
Yeah.
Um, but it will be interesting to try, because they say it's like a two-piece construction of some sort. And I have not heard so much about it, but it will be interesting. Lower swing weight, but very solid. More focused on amateur and like beginners. So it will be interesting to try that one as well. 1618. Yeah, it will be interesting. The new boom will be out as well from Head. I've seen Musetti playing with it, and I thought first, is it the old Instinct or something? But it's the new paint job of the Boom, and it looks really nice. What else do we have in Rackets?
I think a new Extreme probably is coming as well, right? I mean, every 2 years, they renew their line, and
Yeah,
I would guess it's time for the Extreme again.
yeah,
How that's gonna look like? I think the Rackets were not my fave. I know you like the MPL, but I thought the Pro was a bit better in the previous edition, but I did like the cosmetic. It was kind of, they have really fresh cosmetics now. They like obviously have the speed line, which is quite black and white or navy blue white, and but now they have you really gone like with the orange and the lime green, and now also with the Instinct very blue color. So I'm
yeah.
curious about that one.
When we first tried the Extreme, we had, to say the least, lukewarm review of it. And we didn't really like it, none of us. But then we have started to enjoy it more and more. And in the end, we played pretty good tennis with it. I tried the MP, and unfortunately, I got a sample that was like 332 strung or something. And I got late when I was hitting. It was too high swing weight. But they also had samples that was 320, and that was perfect. So I bought actually two MPL. It has this 16-19 string pattern, but the more open of the older extremes. So very open string pattern, and I customized it, and I played really effective tennis with it. It was like a really easy racket to play with. But I sold them, as I do with everything, after a while. And I regret it a bit, actually, because it would be nice to try that one on the clay. It was a really spin monster, and the slice was brutal, and the kick serve and everything. It was really, really easy to play with, like very forgiving and very solid, and looked good. But hopefully they will do it the same, not increase the stiffness too much with the new version, because the 2024 version was like spot on. The
Yeah.
previous version of that one was a bit too stiff, got some elbow issues with it, but they really nailed the 2024 version. So I hope they don't do any major updates in the field with it.
Yeah, that's always the thing. Like head plays it pretty safe, but of course, like the high bore layup is gonna make the rackets a bit stiffer or less dampened, which is one of the feedbacks we gave when we did our review. We said like, hey, this we didn't feel the ball quite with the new extremes with the Oxetic 2. So maybe going back to a little bit stiffer feel could be good, because these are supposed to be more powerful racket, and the Pro is going quite low launch angle and being a quite controlled racket, where you feel like it's going to be tough to compete then with like Aero 98 and VCore 98, which is more explosive rackets, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it will be interesting to try that one and see. But as you say, head plays it's pretty safe. They are not making any radical changes. They are not changing the mold. They keep it the same, so you know that you will not be that disappointed, so to say. I think it will be pretty good.
Yeah, they are not making any duds, and that's, I guess, true for, if you look at 2025 as well. There were not many rackets that were like, I don't get this racket at all, or like it's bad racket. You know, there were rackets that were not maybe the rackets that you go and play. I think for us who are always bringing a bunch of rackets and are testing rackets frequently, I think the best sign of a racket you don't really vibe with is like you don't play with it so much. Like it's just a racket, you play with it for to get an opinion, and then it stays in the bag. You know, were there any rackets that stood out to you in that sense, that you were like, okay, I hit with it, but it's kind of stayed in the bag after that?
Hmm, maybe the Dunlop, the Wilson Ultra 100,
Yeah.
because it's a good racket, but it's very muted. It's very well dampened, so you don't feel the ball that much. And to be honest, I didn't get so much effect on the ball. The Ultra 99 Pro was so much more effective for me and for my game. So the Ultra 100 was put back in the bag pretty fast. And also like the Dunlop then. But apart from that, I've tried everything quite a lot. Um, maybe the Pure Drive 98 was too stiff for me as well. I got some issues with my elbow with that one. I know you like that one, but I felt for me in my game, then the 100 was better and more like well dampened. The 98 was, to be honest, pretty stiff.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I tried it more and more with different strings, and it's a difficult racket. Like I feel like the sweet spot is smaller than the arrow, right? So you do struggle to hit really well with it, and it's like a twist weight is so high, it's like a hammer. While the Pure Drive 100 is so much easier to play with, and that's why I tend to go back to that one a lot. That's become one of my favorites, especially when you're playing some better players that are putting a lot of pace on the ball. It's nice to have the Pure Drive because it's so stable and you can have the forgiveness of that 100 square inch head size. While the Drive 98 it requires quite a strong player to play with. I think that is as too demanding for most, I would say.
Yep, that's a pro racket.
Really, really and truly. And you don't see even the pros. Now we had Jerry Shang, who is a Pure Drive 98 user. He's also testing the 100 now, like trying to see if he can get even more on his ball, because the pros obviously control the ball with such good timing and generating so much topspin on the ball all the time, so they can shape it. While we are usually a bit late, and it's like we need a bit more help. We need the racket to do more of the work, I would say,
Yeah,
for us amateurs.
that's true. Yeah. Apart from that, I cannot really recall any other rackets that I've not been using that much. I've always tried to give the rackets 3-4 hours at least when I try them. Hit a long session with ground strokes, volleys, serve, play games, matches with it, because it's totally different sport when you're just hitting from the baseline compared to playing matches with it when you're out on the run, when you're late to the ball, when there is a bit of a tension in the match. So it's always nice to play matches with the racket, and I would never like start using a racket full time without using it in the match before. I would not like only practice with the racket and then buy without having tried them in a match first.
No, the match phase in tennis is so much more uh, like so much more tense, and then like if you haven't tried it, you don't know how you're going to react, and like suddenly the balls are flying when you were hitting them perfectly in the practice, even in a practice set it can be. So I think trying it in like somewhat competitive match, whether it's a club match or a league match or something, then it's always a good idea, because then you see what's going on. And if you can do it like more than once, it's even better. But at least you're getting that feeling of like, okay, when I'm tight, when I'm tense, I cannot use it because the ball's flying. Like for example. And you also have tried some shoes. I think I didn't try many shoes this year. Sadly, I tried to stay away from too many shoe reviews, but I'm gonna maybe be better in next year. And now you have some new Barricades that you've been testing. The 14 edition, one of the most popular shoes on the market, and looks really good. I mean, I'm a big fan of white shoes, so I'm biased here, and yeah, it looks really nice. What were your opinions about these shoes? They're a bit different from the 13 for sure.
Yeah, the 13th was pretty how do you say it was pretty snug on my foot. I'm pretty clumsy, like a ski boot almost. This one feels more it's like a mix of a Barricade and a Adizero. I don't remember the name of Adidas shoes, but it feels more like a speed shoe with a more solid chassis. So uh, and it looks really clean, very classic, very good breathability both here and here. So you cannot walk outside with it because it's very good ventilation. Um, very good stability. The cushioning is good as well. And here you have this part is really solid with the plastic part goes around here. And the good news is this is the regular size, but I will get extra wide version very soon as well. So it will be like more roomy. It's a little bit snug because I have a very wide feet. In my hockey skates, for example, I have double E, That's more wide, and I will get that one in this Barricade as well, so it will be really interesting to try. One thing that is important to notice, though, is that the Barricade, since a couple of years back, I think they run half a size small. So when I have always used like 46.2 thirds in Adidas, and I think that's US 12. But now I have to use US 12 and a half, and it was the same in the last iteration. So if you are buying the Barricades, go up half a size. That's my recommendation, at least as it is for me and my foot, and that works really well for me. So I
Yeah,
have
they
US
look
12 and
nice.
a half. Yeah.
And I haven't tried them yet. Petros tried them during the preseason now, and he seemed to like them. Although they were taking some getting used to, from the 13s. So I'm curious to try. Were there any other shoes that you really liked? You tried obviously the Asics Gel Res X, which was a very different shoe from the nines. And I think there was a shoe we talked about last time. It was the new Endure Pro with the BOA system, like that lacing system, which looks a bit funny. What was like your favorite shoe test?
First, I was very impressed with the BOA. It's very solid. The foot sits really good. Very, very like a perfect shoe. But I noticed that after a while, the cushioning, I think I need a little bit more cushioning than it is in the Endure Pro BOA. It compressed a little bit too fast, so I felt the vibrations up in my spine. It's a really nice shoe, but I think I'm a bit too heavy. I need to lose some weight to use that one. The Asics Gel Res X is also an excellent shoe. One thing though with the X is that I always have to like retightening the laces. It seems like the laces are losing the tension. So I think I will try to use like waxed hockey laces in that shoe and see if it stays like tighten more. So all the time I had to like retighten the shoelaces in the X. But apart from that, it's a really good shoe. I heard a lot of players that don't like the X, but I really like that one. It's very solid, good cushioning, fits my foot very good. I think the Eclipse 5 was new for this year as well, or was it last year? No, it was last year.
Last year, I think, yeah.
Yeah, but that's also a really good shoe. But I think I must say that the Barricade 14 is my favorite shoe of this year. It has everything. So it takes some time to break in though. It's not like match ready out of the box. So I recommend to use it like maybe 5 hours to just walk around before you take it out on court, because it is a pro shoe, pro level shoe. So it needs to be broken in a bit. So just don't take it out of the box and play a match, because then you will get blisters.
Yeah, and the durability is I think, key features compared to some shoe. Like the rubber is always on the Barricade super durable and a bit thicker, and they're gonna last you a long time. While some shoes, these days they break quickly. Like even for amateurs that play like a few times a week, the shoes don't last very long. So that's a durable shoe, and I'm keen to test as well. In terms of other equipment, we're both equipment nerds. You tried any tennis balls that you've liked? Like that's the hot topic always on the tour. Like they don't like the balls now. The Buble came out and said that the Australian Open 2026 balls are not very good and not lasting longer than like 5 minutes of slice practice or whatever he said. He exaggerates, of course, but what balls have you been using, and do you have you found any like recommendable ones?
Yeah, I tried the Nordic Dots made a new ball. I don't remember the name. It was something Pro
Yeah, it's
Edition or
pro,
something.
pro. Yeah.
It's a bit faster ball. So a lot of balls these days are very slow, but the Nordic Dots ball is very fast, in my opinion. A little bit lighter, more lively. How do you, lively? Is
Yeah,
that correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
and I agree. I tried it as well. I also feel
Yeah.
like it's a bouncier ball.
Yeah. So it's a little bit harder to control. On slow clay courts, damp conditions, a little bit lower temperature, it works really, really good, because then you can play with better pace. When you try it in maybe plus 30 degrees on a hard court, it will be very bouncy. But it's a good ball that's not like everything else in the market. And then I have tried this one, a new ball from Stiga, the Swedish table tennis brand. It's called the Prestige Tournament Ball, All Court Extra Duty ITF approved. And this is the ball I used today. And this is how it looks after 1 hour of hard court tennis.
Not bad,
So
right?
not bad at all. It doesn't fluff up that much. Little bit, I would say, I would compare this one to like a old school Dunlop Fort when that was the king ball. The Stiga Prestige is like old school Dunlop Fort, a little bit more heavy, like really solid, lasts very long, keeps the bounce good. So that's the ball I've been using the most actually. It's I mean, if you compare that one to, for example, Dunlop ATP or Head Tour or something like that, if I use that one 1 hour, it looks like a guinea pig. It doesn't have any printing left on it, and it's ready for the trash can, the trash bin. But this Stiga ball really lasts a long time, so I'm very positive with that one. It's always interesting when you try like a totally new brand. It could be like Walmart or Biltema, the Swedish low price shop type of ball, but this one was really spot on and one of my favorites ball I've ever tried actually. So old school Dunlop Fort.
Yeah, I agree in some way. I found it a little bit hard at times, but I used it for the ball machine, my Pong bot, and then I found it kind of perfect because I don't want to use like unpressurized balls for the ball machine because then it's like super hard and you don't feel like you're going back to play with normal balls. It's gonna feel very different. So I've used that one and I really like that one and it lasted quite a long time. So the Stiga Prestige was a good ball. I'm not as much of a fan of the Stiga Arena as I was of the Stiga Prestige. The Arena 98 square inch was a bit too demanding of a racket, but the balls, I think thumbs up. Other balls I've liked, like that are not new, but I can recommend is the Technifiber X1. I thought that's a pretty good ball. Very similar to the Technifiber Club, which is cheaper. So Technifiber balls, they're good. And the Wilson Roland Garros is one of my faves as well. But those brands I used to like, the Head Tour XT and the Dunlop Fort, I think they really went down in quality, and I hope they come back. But after COVID, I think they took a really big step backwards, and hopefully they can take a step forwards in 2026. I know there's a new Dunlop ball and that has some new felt and stuff that I've ordered now to try from Tennis Warehouse, and maybe that can be very good. We will see. But the balls are important for sure.
Yeah, I know that Dunlop has made some environmental changes with like a more eco-friendly packing, reduce the plastic, have like a paper lid and stuff like that. So they are thinking about the environment, and hopefully they will put some more work into the felt as well. So because now it's fluffing up extreme, so hopefully they will improve the durability a bit, because Dunlop used to be like the go-to market with balls. They used to be the best on the market up until COVID. So they know how to do good balls for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I did try the AO 2026 now during preseason, and yeah, it's not the longest lasting. It was not terrible, but it wasn't as you might remember these balls in the past. But maybe they're getting their back slowly, slowly. Not sure exactly what happened, but if it's a cost saving or if it's some rubber issue that they have in the industry, it's tough to know as a tester. But if you use the wrong balls, it's not the nicest experience. Especially like if you're in a cold playing hall and it's like damp conditions in the winter time now, and you're using the wrong ball can really be hurting your arm and make it so tough to play compared to a good ball. And maybe if you're playing like in a slow, tough conditions, try to go for a livelier ball like the Nordic Dots, the Technifiber ball. They're quite lively as well. And don't go for like a head tour, where you have to really work hard after 30 minutes of play.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything else that you are looking forward to for next year? You're gonna play in the tournaments. What's on the agenda? I mean, I know you're in hockey season mode right now, so you're playing ice hockey. You're following your team HV71, so you're really in the hockey trenches.
Yeah, I'm watching a lot of hockey. I think I watch more hockey than tennis at the moment. And I also started to guard the net again as a goalkeeper in ice hockey, like once a week. But it's more for the it's a extremely good fitness session. The equipment is about 20 kilos. So when you're practicing 1.5 hour, the workout is, I mean, it's extreme. You have a maximum heart rate all the time, and you're sweating like buckets. So it's the best conditioning workout that you can possibly find. So it's good as a preseason training for tennis. But I think I will play the national championships in Sweden indoors up in Stockholm if it's possible with work and stuff like that. Then hopefully I will play some league matches in Austria in May. Hopefully I will get the chance to travel with the Davis Cup team to the Czech Republic away in February as well. Yeah. So that's the plan. Unfortunately, most tournaments here in Sweden, though, the men's 45, they get cancelled because it's just 1-2 into the entry list. I don't know what's happening, but this autumn, I think 3 out of 5 tournaments was cancelled because it was no players. Strange. I don't know why, but and it will be some league matches in Sweden as well. We're playing in the second division with the men's 45, and we have won all matches 3-0 so far. So hopefully we will take the jump up in the highest division, and then it will be really, really good matches next year. But we have to win a couple of more matches to secure the league. So it will be some more focus on league matches next year because tournaments is just difficult to find.
Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, maybe it's a trend in Sweden because we haven't brought out like some players in a long time. You know, we still have the Ymer brothers, we have Leo Borg, but it's been tough to get players deep in, like, especially ATP tournaments now, but also challengers and future. So it's been a tough period for Swedish tennis, and maybe that's shown also on like rec player tournaments and these things. You know, I don't know. Paddle it was growing heavily in Sweden for a while. I don't know how it is anymore. If it's people are still going over to paddle from tennis, or if it's
No.
died
It's
down.
it's slowly. I would not say dying out, but it has settled, and they have closed huge amount of paddle arenas. So tennis is solid, but people are just not playing competitive. They are playing like it's difficult to get available courts indoor because there is a lot of amateurs playing for fun, practice, but not playing matches, unfortunately. I know you can play senior tennis tournaments in like Stockholm and Gothenburg, but it's not easy to travel 400 kilometers one weekend to play a tournament. And they always begin like on Thursday night, and then you have to take time off from work, and it's not just possible as when you have a normal daytime job. Then you have to play more league matches. So hopefully it will be more players that like dare to play matches and not just practice.
Yeah, I think it's fun. Tennis is about playing matches, and it's like I mean, I understand many players don't like it, but because obviously your ego is at stake and you play worse than you think. But sometimes it's good to challenge yourself and do it anyway. But it's tough everywhere. It's even in Spain. Like, it's not full of tournaments. You know, you might think Spain is such a tennis country, but then you still probably have to drive quite a lot. You know, to get to tournaments, and there's not loads of league matches either. At least Sweden, they have the league system, like Germany and France and Italy. Like, it's a bit more heavy on the leagues, which I think is good. I think they probably are around in Spain as well, but it's a bit more logistically difficult, it feels like.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear. Good to hear. And we have lots to look forward to for next year. Hopefully, go to some tournaments. We always go to Swedish Open. That probably will be another one, and maybe something else. Do you have any trips planned for tennis?
Yes, hopefully Davis Cup in February.
Yeah.
Czech Republic away in, I think it's called Jihlava or something, a small town 1.5 hours south of Prague, like 50,000 people living there. They have built a brand new ice hockey arena for 5,500 people, and they sold out both days in less than 1 hour.
Wow.
So it's huge tennis interest in the Czech Republic. And I mean, just looking by the rankings, the Czech Republic are sky high favorites against the Swedish team. But it will be really cool to go down there as underdogs and have nothing to lose and just enjoy the time down there. And then, as I said, maybe a trip or two to Austria to play some league matches, and then maybe see if there is time to visit a certain tennis nerd in Marbella, maybe. And we'll see if we can find time for the Swedish Open or something. It's a nice time to visit the Swedish Open, or if we go to Wimbledon, we'll see.
That would be good, man. Yeah, let's look forward to some heat, because even here in south of Spain, it's been pretty cold and rainy. So it's like yesterday I could play outside in the sun, which is nice, but today it's just raining all day. So I
Yeah.
also want some summer back.
We had the December was disaster when it comes to sun here. We had 0.4 hours of sun in December. But it's been quite, I would not say hot, but not that cold. It's been like 7-8 degrees plus Celsius. So normally it's around -2, -3. So it's unseasonable hot or warm this time. No sign of snow whatsoever. So if the nets were up and it's not raining, you could play outdoor, but no one has the nets up still. So everyone is playing indoor, and it's also dark. Today is actually the darkest day of the year. I don't know the English word for it. Now it will only be brighter.
That's good. It's turning.
Yep.
It's turning around to the other side. And finally, like before I let you go, so what racket are you most excited about now for 2026? Well, what are you most excited to try? And what would you think would be the best selling frame coming out?
The new Pure Aero from Babola.
That
I
would be the
think,
best seller, yeah.
yeah, I think so. It's such a good update. So I think that will be the best seller of 2026. It's even if it will be, I think, pretty expensive, but it's unbelievably good racket. So I think that will be the best seller of next year.
Cool. Yeah, will
Or
be
the
interesting.
Python, or the Python, if it will be Python, because that's such a new thing for Wilson as well, and Wilson has such a loyal following. So either Aero or Python.
Big battle or VCore.
Yep.
We see. We see. This spin, the year of spin for sure. 2026.
Yep.
And nice talking to you, Henrik. Best of luck with your hockey and your hockey team. I know you're a diehard fan, and I hope you play a lot of tennis, and we can compare notes on VCores when I unpackage them tomorrow. Hopefully, we will see. Never know with the post, but will be fun year for tennis. I hope.
Yeah, it will be really nice, and we will keep in touch and do some more podcasts.
For sure. Thanks, Henrik. Have a nice one.
Hope you will have a good start to the next year as well.